Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is the mysterious decision the Clippers made that no one is talking about. So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, check out Dreamerspro Max, an online sports community, a place where you can go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, and also consume original content that you won't be able to get anywhere else. So make sure you guys go ahead and check that out. It's in the description below and get 7 days of access. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. Also, make sure you go ahead and click the join button to join the channel to receive loyalty badges. And whenever we go live and you leave a comment, we'll respond to it. So make sure you go ahead and do that. It's next to the join button. Anyway, let me get into this video here. So I got some theories that I like to throw at you guys today, and I'm going to be curious to hear what you guys are going to say after you hear my theories. So before I even get into my theories, let me give you the current standings in the Western Conference as they currently stand right now. Right now, we have the Utah Jazz as the number 1 seed, the Phoenix Suns are the number 2 seed, the Denver Nuggets is the number 3, the Clippers are the number 4. Then you have the Dallas Mavericks who are the number 5, and then the Portland Trail Blazers at the number 6. As we currently stand, the current play-in tournament is as follows, and it won't change. These are going to be the teams most likely with the exception of one probably. So you have the Lakers at the number 7th. Then you have the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies, who have an identical record, who are the 8 and 9 seed. And then you have the San Antonio Spurs, who are going to be in the play-in tournament. You have the Golden State Warriors and the Memphis Grizzlies, who are going to be in the play-in tournament. And then you have the Lakers and the Portland Trail Blazers, who have an identical record, although Portland has one more win, but they're going to be playing against the Denver Nuggets on Sunday to see whether or not they're going to stay in the number 6 seed or end up in the play-in tournament. So that's currently how it stands. And then the Lakers have 2 more games left on their schedule, but I believe Portland has the tiebreaker on the Lakers as it currently, as things currently stand right now. So keep that in mind. Now, the Clippers yesterday were in perfect position to hold on to the number 3 seed. Going into that game, they were the number 3 seed, as we all remember, right? And if they kept the number 3 seed, this is the path that the Clippers would have to take in the playoffs. In round 1, the Clippers would most likely play, as it currently stands, they were going to be playing the Portland Trail Blazers in round 1. In round 2, they were going to be playing the winner with that Phoenix, maybe Lakers or Golden State Warriors team. Most likely, let's say the Suns. They were going to be playing the Suns in round 2, and then we're going to see who they're going to play in round 3 in the conference finals against whoever it was that they were going to be facing again. Now, going into last night's game, I felt it was an important game for the Clippers, right? Because you want to hold on to the number 3 seed. This is what I thought. I'm sure this is what a lot of you thought. This is what conventional wisdom would have said, right? And also, before the game, I heard that Serge Ibaka was going to play. So I said, fantastic. This is going to be a great game because Serge is back. He's going to start getting some playing minutes. And Serge played very well, by the way. Not to kind of overlook that point there. He played very well. So I was like, okay, good. Then it goes into tip-off and something very interesting happened. Right before tip-off, what happened? We found out that Kawhi Leonard was not going to play, Paul George was not going to play, Patrick Beverley was not going to play, Reggie Jackson was not going to play, and Terrence Mann was not going to play. And I said to myself, what is going on here? Right? I was like, I'm confused. And funny enough, we were on Dreamerspro Max because I started the game a little bit late. And I was asking everybody, what's happening? Where is everybody? And they're telling me, no, this person not playing. These people are not playing. So my first thought was, are they resting their players? And I was like, but why would you rest your players when omitting tonight's game, you have one more game in the season, you're not going to be in the play-in tournament, your season ends on Sunday, the playoffs begin next week Saturday, you're going to have 5 consecutive days of rest to kind of just get ramped up for the playoffs. So I'm like, I don't understand. Why would they be taking rest right now when you're going to have a week? And what is this one day going to mean to you as far as like one additional day of rest? Is it going to like change your life as far as how you're going to perform in the playoffs? I said, no, that didn't make sense, right? Because I was like, none of this is making much sense to me. And as I was watching the game, I was asking myself, I said, are the Clippers throwing this game? Because remember, they're playing against the Houston Rockets, who are by far the worst team in the NBA. The worst team. And I'm like, why would they be throwing a game to the Rockets? So, after they lost the game, they dropped from the 3 to the 4th seed. And I went to bed. And I couldn't make any sense of what I just saw. Then I woke up and I said to myself, okay, wait a minute. What is happening here? What does this mean? Because they lost, now they're the number 4 seed. So what is their aim? Then I went back and looked at the playoff brackets again, and I said, aha, I see what's happening. It looks like Tyronn Lue just pulled a fast one on everybody in the Western Conference, and I'll tell you why. Here's what the current playoff picture looks like now if the Clippers remain the number 4 seed, because remember, guys, they have one more game on Sunday. Denver plays Portland on Sunday. They're playing at the same time. Not like as if Portland is playing before. So if they're going to play at the same time, I think the Clippers are going to do this. It's personally what I think. I think they're going to rest all of their players again. So this is what the current playoff picture looks like currently looks like. If the Clippers remain the number 4 seed, it makes everything else that's happening in the West absolutely irrelevant to the Clippers, and I'll tell you why. If the Clippers are the number 4 seed going into the playoffs, their road to the finals becomes much easier. Round 1, they're going to be playing against the Dallas Mavericks, and I think the Clippers looked at the seedings like this, and they say, you know what? Who do we have a better chance of beating? Portland, Dallas, or the Lakers in round 1? I think they looked at it. They removed their ego from it and say, you know what? Let's take that Dallas matchup. We played them last year. We're not going to overlook them this time. We're going to take Dallas in round 1. Now, what happens by doing that? If they take the Dallas Mavericks in round 1, it creates kind of an easier path for them to get to round 2. So now you're in round 2. In round 1 as well, in their bracket, you're going to have Utah playing the number 9 or number 10, or possibly the loser of that game between the Lakers and the Warriors. Now, you're going to be playing those two teams. Those two teams play, right? But bear in mind something. Even if Utah wins, remember there's a news on Donovan Mitchell that Donovan Mitchell is dealing with some kind of knick-knack injuries. So Donovan Mitchell's not going to be at 100%. Hear me out. You're now advanced. Let's say Utah advances. Well, you're not going to be playing a Utah that's absolutely 100% healthy, which works in your favor. But what if Utah doesn't? If Utah doesn't advance, you could potentially be playing Memphis, San Antonio, or the Lakers, or Golden State. And I think the Clippers feel very, very comfortable feeling that they could beat all of these teams that I just mentioned. So if they do that, they're now in the conference. Now they're in the Western Conference Finals. By doing so, they've already made history, number 1. But number 2, they do something else completely different. Look at the other side of the playoff brackets. You now let Portland and Denver fight in round 1, or Denver and the Lakers. That's round 1. In that same round 1 is going to be Phoenix and maybe Golden State. Whoever wins, they now advance to the next round, and it's either going to be Portland or Denver versus Phoenix or the Lakers, whoever it is. So the teams in that other bracket are much more dangerous than the teams in the opposite bracket. So by the time the Clippers get to the Western Conference Finals, if things go as I'm thinking, and I think that's what Tyronn Lue is thinking, then potentially they could still play the Lakers or the Nuggets or the Suns, but the difficult teams that they would have to face to get there, they no longer have to face them. They say, you know what? I'll let you guys tear yourselves apart. We're going to take the easy route. And by doing so, they take the path of the least resistance. That's what I think is happening here. And it reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. What does Floyd do? Floyd says, you know what? Yeah, I've never lost before, but you know what, guys? I'm going to fight Conor McGregor, who has no real shot at beating me in a boxing match. But I'm going to make it entertaining, and I'm going to make $150 million doing it. So Floyd says, who would I rather fight for $150 million? Manny Pacquiao or Conor McGregor? Now, the macho and the macho man in us and maybe our egos will say, I want to fight Pacquiao to show you who I am. Blah, blah, blah. But Floyd is like, no. I'm going to take the path of least resistance where I'm not going to get hit. I'm going to put on a good show. I'm going to make my money and get the hell up out of there. And I think that's what the Clippers did. I think the Clippers possibly have thrown a monkey wrench into the Western Conference playoff picture. This is what I think they just did. Now, obviously, I'm just theorizing. I don't know if this is exactly what they're doing. But the question still remains, if this is not what they're doing, then why didn't they play their players? And I bet you this. I bet you that tomorrow night, they're not going to play their best players again. And I think they're going to aim for that number 4 seed and let all of those other teams duke it out. Now, let me just say this last thing. Some people may say, but they're doing this to avoid the Lakers. No. I don't think that's what they're doing. I think what they're doing is, they say, you know what? The Lakers and all of you guys go up there and rough yourselves up. We'll catch you down the road. When everybody's taking their pound of flesh out of you, then we'll fight you. We're not going to fight you when you're feeling ready. We're going to fight you when they're beating you up and all of this different stuff. That's when we'll take you on. And it's actually smart. If that's what they're doing, it's a genius move. If that's, in fact, what they're doing. I don't know. I'm just speculating. So what I want to know from you guys is, what do you think the Clippers are really trying to accomplish by throwing that game yesterday and possibly aiming for the number 4 seed? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode.